Hi guys, I'm Davina.
And I'm Ishaan, and welcome back to episode 9 of Round the Wall.
The newest and hottest place to hear us talk all things football. Now, today we have a special guest. Introduce yourself, please.
What's up, people? My name's Brendan Cobbina, also known by the internet as Black John Cena, and the guy who has a massive obsession with eggs. I love my eggs. And lifting weights too. Did I say that?
No, you haven't.
Damn it. I lift weights, guys. I lift weights.
Sorry, we couldn't tell.
Oh, I need to go more then.
Definitely not able to tell.
Oh my gosh, speaking of John Cena, I am going to watch WWE live on Friday.
I got invited to that and I'm away.
Oh, boo!
Insane.
Come on, that's insane, like,
Away.
Twitter bait, that is.
Oh, I'm away.
That would have blown up. Like a photo of
That
them
would've
two
been
together. That would have been
Oh,
crazy.
it will happen. When it happens, it will happen. It will come. But it was so funny. There was one time where there's this hotel called the Lanesborough Hotel.
Yeah.
It's a very like high-end hotel in Hyde Park Corner, whatever.
Yeah.
Me and him were in the same area at the same time.
Seriously?
We just crossed paths, just didn't see each other.
Shit, man.
So annoying.
It'll happen one day.
Of course.
We'll
Anyways,
be there.
get into it.
So, we've got a whole host of topics for you today. We've been away for a while. Davina was doing a thing
Doing
in
a world tour, mate.
India and Sri Lanka. Do you want to give a little brief summary of what
Oh yeah,
what-
I went to Sri Lanka with a couple of my friends, and then I was in India doing some IPL content. Took 2 weeks off from my side job to do that. To my main job to do my side job.
Oh my God.
Let's hope,
Oh my God.
Let's hope your employers don't see that.
No, they won't. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and yeah, so instead of football, I was concentrating on some cricket. Now I'm back. Davina_THFC is back. Don't know how I feel about that. We'll talk about the results this weekend from the weekend in a couple of minutes' time. But yeah, how are you doing, Ishaan?
I'm good. I was in Istanbul over the weekend, which was meant to be a happy hunting ground for me before I saw my team lose twice in 4 days. Can't tell, Liverpool fan. Atlanta and then Palace. And yeah, probably might as well talk about the title race now then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're pretty much out of it right now, I think.
Oh, that is a brazy statement, because 2 points with 6 games left to play. How can you say that you're out of the title race?
Because 4 letters for you, PTSD. like I was thinking, like, Arsenal fans are probably, really, like, in any normal team that you're up against, you think 2 points, like you said, is definitely like salvageable. But it's Man City. They don't drop points in this run.
Mm-hmm.
Like they never do. And I just think we've blown it. Like, we've got tough games still. We've got Everton away. We've got you guys at Anfield. We've got a few other away games as well. It's just, I just don't see it happening. I think it's just, the wheels are falling off at the wrong time.
The pessimism.
You're just so pessimistic.
Crazy.
But I have to be, because every time that I get my hopes like minorly up with Liverpool against City, it always backfires. I mean, yeah. The only hope is that we play, I think both Liverpool and Arsenal play twice before City played next. Mm-hmm. So in terms of like scoreboard pressure, if we win both our games, maybe we can put the pressure on a bit. But I don't know. What do you guys think? You think it's over? Or?
Personally, well, first things first, I just don't want Arsenal to win the league.
Yeah, honestly.
I don't care about anything else. I just do not want Arsenal Football Club to win the league. That is it. Anyways, see, I want to say that you guys said you're still in it. To be honest, you are still in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not all over. But you lost 1-0 to Crystal Palace at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Crystal Palace are fighting relegation, but it's like, if you're losing to Crystal Palace at home, it's... I called you pessimistic, and I don't want to be the pessimistic one as well, but at the same time, Man City have got some hard games too. People need to stop underestimating the games they have. They have Brighton away, and they have Nottingham Forest away. Nottingham Forest are fighting relegation.
Mm-hmm.
That will not be an easy game.
You're right.
I don't know why people are writing that off. And have they got Tottenham to face?
Away as well. They got
Yeah.
Spurs away.
Guys, come on.
City's next 6 are Brighton away, Forest away, Wolves at home, Fulham away, Spurs away, West Ham at home.
I will tell you. Okay, so Brighton away, Forest away. Cool. Could win both of them, but you're gonna drop points in my opinion.
This is for City, yeah.
Yeah, this is City. Fulham, you'll probably win, but you could also drop points as well. Wolves at home, you win. City away, if you win, you won the league.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm just worried about Arsenal,
Yeah.
and I think, in my opinion, I don't have an opinion actually in this.
They've got, to be fair, Arsenal have got Spurs and United away, and they've got Chelsea
At home.
at the Emirates.
I'm going there.
You're going for that.
Hate watch.
Yeah, I feel you.
Pure hate watch.
But
Nothing else.
Chelsea do well against the big six as well.
Chelsea.
We're gonna get pumped.
Nah, I don't
Chelsea
think so.
capitulate against
You say
Arsenal.
that.
Chelsea capitulate against
Exactly,
Arsenal.
we do.
Was it
I hate
City?
it.
City home and away, you're unbeaten.
Yeah, cool.
It was a 2-2 draw at the Stamford Bridge, right, against Arsenal.
Yeah.
You took points off us at Stamford Bridge, as in Liverpool.
Okay, yeah.
They thrashed us at home.
They beat,
Like, absolutely
You've
smashed
got
us.
not a bad United. I don't know what happened at Old Trafford,
You lost 2-1. Terrible game.
but then you beat them the other. So like in terms of the big six, like you do turn up for the big games.
True, but against Arsenal, we will drop our pants for them. I swear to you. I am so confident in that. Plus, I've lost every single away game I've been to with Chelsea.
Oh my gosh, snap.
And I'm going there.
I'm really
Please
left hanging.
don't, just for that one.
I'm being left hanging. I'm being left hanging.
Huh?
I'm being left hanging.
Oh, sorry?
That's okay.
Davina, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think it's very pessimistic for you to say 2.6 games left to play and then you're like, oh, we're out of it. Because I get that you're up against Man City, but like you said, Man City have some tough games to come. And there have been bigger collapses that have happened. Like weirder things have happened in the Premier League. Like it could go down to the last game. And like, for me, every time someone says like, it's done, with only that many points between you guys, think about 11-12 United.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were, 8 points clear, 6 games to go, finish second. Like, think about it. Weirder things have happened.
Yeah.
And-
Pep, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
I get it, yeah.
I get it. And then, like you said, PTSD. And I was having a look at City's record in title races. They dropped for the last 3 title races, so not including the year that you won.
Yeah.
2018-19, 21-22, 22-23. Out of their last 6 games, they dropped 2 points when the title was still on the lines. Out of 16
What, in
matches.
every season or overall?
Like overall.
Across those 3 seasons?
So in their last 6 games,
Yeah.
like every single year,
Yeah.
when their title was still on the line, they only dropped 2 points.
Fine.
And out of 16 matches, when the title was on the line, they won 15 and drew once.
Yeah.
So that's when the title was in play.
Yeah.
Just for any stat merchants out there, when the title was on the line, not after they'd already won.
Fine.
So it's tricky, but you can't lose hope.
Yeah. As in, like, look, I'm always going to hold out. It's just I'm just trying to be as realistic as possible.
Yeah.
It's because at the end of the day, the hope kills you in this game. Like,
That's the thing.
and honestly, I'll say we're doing some hot takes later, but I've got a hot take now. I think Liverpool will be more likely to win the Europa League than the Premier League. I have more faith in us overturning that Atlanta leg than us winning the
Away from home.
Yeah. Just because, like, at least it's, like, solely relying on us getting a result on the day. It's Liverpool in Europe. Stranger things have happened. I have more faith in that than going toe-to-toe with City with a 2-point deficit.
I can agree with that only because you can control that by winning every single game from now on. Even if you win every single game from now on,
And
if
City-
City match you,
Yeah.
it's their title.
That's their title, yeah.
I think I'm just so reliant on Spurs here. I'm so reliant. Just that one game. City drop them, we go flawless. That's the only chance. But
You guys could do something really funny, to be honest.
Yeah, we have the chance to do something absolutely hilarious because we play all of
3,
you.
yeah. You've got massive
And
role to play.
I've had like Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, City fans basically like, oh, please do us a favour. I'm like, why have people put their faith in Tottenham Hotspur? Because even I think back to last year, like there was a specific period we lost to Wolves away, we lost to Sheffield United in the FA Cup, and then we beat Man City, like in the space of 2-3 weeks. Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
And that literally gave Arsenal an advantage in the league.
Yeah.
So, in terms of trying to play tactically, and people have also said that Tottenham, if we have the chance to let Arsenal not win the league, like Andrew will put out some he's not the kind of manager. Like he's actually said, I just want to perform well. Like I'm not thinking about what's happening in the title race. I'm not listening to all the noise around it. He's going to put out a team, and if they win, they win.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just don't know. Tottenham are the most inconsistent team. It's just so difficult to figure out what kind of Tottenham you're going to get on the day. So they could literally in 2 weeks' time thrash Arsenal
Yeah.
and then lose to Burnley.
Yeah.
Like that is so Tottenham for them to
That's
do,
very Tottenham.
and it's I don't know why so many fans are putting their faith in Tottenham, but
It's the only thing we've got.
This is the only thing you're about to say. Got already. Have to.
The other, I mean, we can talk briefly about the top four here. I mean, it's largely, I think fourth and fifth are pretty set, right? In terms of points, but
I honestly don't know.
it's a 10-point gap. There's no
fourth
way
and fifth
they've
again?
bought. Sorry.
Is fourth and fifth again?
So Villa fourth on 63 points,
Yeah, and then
Spurs on 60 points, and then Newcastle on 50 points.
Okay, you don't know because please remember the games that we have to play.
It's a 10 point.
Arsenal at home.
No way you bought.
Arsenal at home. On paper, they should thrash us. Chelsea away, we never get a result at Stamford Bridge. Liverpool away, we never get a result at Anfield. That is like one of the fixtures I look forward to the least in the whole season.
Yeah.
It's literally our cursed ground. I could say that about a lot of grounds following the results at the weekend.
Fine.
And we've got to play City at home. A full strength City will thrash us. Yeah. We've got Burnley at home, Sheffield United away. Sheffield United, we can assume last game of the season should be okay.
They'll be gone by then.
But it's very tricky. You don't know.
Yeah, but even if you lose all three to City, Liverpool, and
Lose
Arsenal,
another one.
And City.
you still need to lose one more.
Still need, no.
So there's four.
And that's counting the Newcastle win every single one of their games. Like I think you're safe. But it's about whether fifth becomes a Champions League spot.
Yeah.
I don't know what the parameters is on that.
To do with English teams going through at a certain stage and
Coefficient.
Coefficient. I think at this stage it's not happening.
Is it? Yeah,
I think
that's what I heard.
I read something that we needed Arsenal, Villa, and what are Villa in?
Villa in Conference League.
Yeah,
but
so
Liverpool and West Ham in Europa, and Arsenal and City in Champions League.
So we need Arsenal. I think I read Villa because if Villa go through, they knock out. I don't know who they're playing, but they knock out
Lille.
someone who have a stronger coefficient.
Yeah.
And Atletico to win,
Yeah.
and then we'd go through. But honestly, again, we'll talk about hot takes a bit later. I don't think we'll see very many English teams going through based on the current results.
Yeah, I think Liverpool going out potentially this week has probably been the nail in the coffin, right?
Yeah.
On that, because everyone expected us to get at least to the final. But yeah, I think you're set fourth and fifth. I think Villa. Who do you think finished? So Tottenham actually are, even though they're 3 points behind, a game in hand.
Game in hand, like our game in hand is not City.
So what you think? What?
No, you know.
See, you say me, I'm being pessimistic. She's
I'm a
being
Spurs fan.
pessimistic.
She's a Spurs fan. She gets a leeway.
Fine.
And I watched that 4-0 game at the weekend. I was literally staring at my TV in disbelief. I mean, I'm so glad I didn't go. I went to St James's Park.
Which game again?
Tottenham Newcastle. We
4-0.
lost 4-0.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, 'cause it was first game.
Funny.
It was first game of
Oh my
the
goodness.
weekend.
Do you know how many times Tottenham gets spanked? I just forget how many times they've been spanked.
I was literally saying.
I know.
No, it's completely fine because we got ambushed against Brighton away, Fulham away, and Newcastle away. But then we went to the Emirates and drew. We went to the Etihad and drew, and went to Old Trafford and drew. Like, how does that make sense?
Yeah, that's very
It's
Spurs.
wild.
That's very
Like Brighton, we lost 4-2. We were 4-0 down. And then we went to Fulham, we lost 3-0. 4-0 at St James's Park. That's back-to-back St James's Park whoopings.
Yeah.
6-1 last season that I was at.
I swear, yeah, I'm about to say, I swear you were.
I was there. I was there.
She was about to go. She
I was about to go
this
this
week.
weekend. And I just made an executive decision. I can't make a 6 a.m. train. I just think Tottenham as a whole, they have so many problems. I made a list. We need more energy.
I was going to ask what changes, because I know you're firmly like Ange in like style of play and all that, but your players are all back now. And when you look at the squad you've got, I know when the injuries come, like you get slightly depleted, but your starting 11's a good. Where should the improvements be?
I think it's getting more used to this style of play, having a more secure defence. I have a couple of points. Firstly, we need to have more energy because watching that game on Saturday, every second ball that was coming, it was Newcastle's ball. And having played a significantly low amount of games, we got knocked out in the Carabao Cup first round in August. FA Cup, we were out in January and we're not in Europe. If anything, our players should be very energetic. And I didn't see that. I get that the effort is there, but I think there needs to be like more of a push in terms of being more proactive with the ball. Don't be so like timid when you have possession. Our average possession is 62%. That's the highest average possession in the whole league behind Man City.
Yeah.
That's high. I remember playing Poch ball
Yeah.
and we had high possession.
Yeah.
Our average possession this season is higher than peak Poch ball.
Yeah.
Which is wild to me.
Yeah.
Why aren't we more creative when we're in possession? Like, we're always sideways passing. That's not how Ange plays. So I think it's just getting more used to this style of play.
But you were doing it so well at the start of the season, then the injuries happened. So what suddenly happened that they've forgotten about it?
I think, I mean, a lot of Spurs fans forget a nice run of fixtures that we had.
Yeah.
We had a very nice, exactly that momentum. We were building on it. We played a very easy team. We did not face a lot of difficult teams in those first 10 games.
Yeah.
And we built on the creativity and like we've got 3 points. Let's carry on our unbeaten run. Like, it was good vibes around the club.
Yeah.
Then we faced the dreadful game against you guys and wheels fell off. It was very difficult to adapt with different players you hadn't played together.
Yeah.
All of a sudden being thrown into a new system of football when last season they were playing Conte ball.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a few issues. We need to get more out of Son.
Yeah.
Like, he was hooked.
I feel like he's been...
He was hooked on Saturday in like the 58th minute when we were chasing goals.
That's crazy.
He's like one of the best finishers of the league.
Yeah.
Like, you need to get the most out of him. Like,
What's happened to him? I don't think it's his fault, but like from what I've seen, I just feel like it's like he's timid almost. Like he's just not himself. Like,
Well, I think he takes on a lot of responsibility as captain, trying to get the whole team to play. But I think a lot of our problems lie with our midfield creativity, because behind Maddison, our midfield very much struggles, and I think we need to get that balance right in order to keep the ball going forward. Because I think once we get the ball forward, there's not an issue in terms of finishing. I think Brendan Johnson has a great shot on him. Son has a great shot on him. Timo
doesn't have a great
jury's still out.
You should know.
Jury's
people.
still out.
he's a good worker.
Yeah, like I feel like he creates good chances through movement and stuff like that.
He's
but
very
he can't
good at
finish.
crossing the ball in and finding white shirts in the box. He's very good at finding Son in an offside position. But yeah, jury's still out on him. I'm not he had a bad game. Cook him. I'm not that one. But like, Basuma's so inconsistent. Bentancur's still recovering. He had almost a year of football, so he's trying to find his feet again. Skip is like forgotten about. Saar on and off. So we just need to fix that midfield.
Where's Kulusevski?
Kulusevski has had...
You said
fallen off.
Son's fallen off. He's fallen off massively,
fallen
I feel like, Kulusevski.
What's happened to him?
Yeah, where's he been?
Is he injured?
No, he's not injured.
I swear he came on or did something. He came on the weekend.
Yeah,
didn't he?
it's difficult with
The way
Kulusevski.
people are talking about him, there's that Twitter account. It's like, I think it's called
Invert
the Wing.
Yeah.
And was like making like, because when Tottenham were doing well at the beginning of the season, he was like basically like putting a lot of Tottenham propaganda out and getting a lot of following off. And he was like, Kulusevski's better than Saka, like all this.
Yeah, that's it. Kulusevski was better than Saka.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
And then I've not seen anything from him.
I still have faith in him, but he's just not as creative and efficient as he used to be. I remember when we first signed him from Juve, he was like on fire back end of 21-22 season when we made top 4.
Yeah.
On fire. And even there was a brief period this season, I think it was like around December time, that he was very good. Again, very inconsistent. So he just needs to find his form, and that's why there's been a massive like divide in the Tottenham fan base as to whether he should be starting or not.
Yeah.
So our front three is very much up for grabs who starts.
Yeah.
Also, Richarlison needs to stay fit. He's injured again, so
Yeah, he had a good purple patch in the middle of it, like
Don't
for a
call it
good
purple
like.
patch.
He is a purple
call
patch.
it
player.
purple patch.
Richarlison.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like there'll be like one period ever so often that he goes on a run and then he'll go on absolute goal drought. Like, do you remember he took him like 50 games to score like a goal, wasn't it, for Tottenham? It's crazy.
He scored against you though.
Huh?
He scored against you.
Yeah, and how did that work out for him?
Bless him.
Oh, damn.
Bless him.
I remember that. Damn it.
Last bit before we kind of move on to Chelsea, the relegation battle. So if I map it out for you guys, we've got Forest on Everton in 16th on 27 points, Forest on 26 points, and then Luton on 25 points. And we're assuming, I think Burnley and Sheffield United will go down.
Yeah. I think it's just the last place, which is up for grabs.
So there's a 2-point gap, and I don't know what there could still be points deductions and appeals. Like the points could still change.
You know, there's a thing going around that Everton are appealing that extra deduction that they got last week.
Yeah, I think they got another 2 points.
So they're going to appeal that. So that means relegation technically could be decided after the league ends.
Which is crazy. How could that even be allowed? Like, even from the most basic things, like teams need to start prepping like for the season ahead, right? Who to let go of, like. There should be a cutoff. I don't get how
it's just
allowed.
every team for themselves. They have to win as many games as possible from now on, collect as many points.
I actually think Everton's going to get relegated.
You think so?
When they do, it's going to be catastrophic for them. It's going to be bad news for them. Just like any club is bad news, but for Everton, with the back end stuff that they have,
the
stadium that they're building, everything is going to be peak.
I agree on that.
I really solemnly believe that they'll get relegated because they caught life last year, if I'm correct. And they're doing it again.
And they did it the season before that with Lampard as well. So they just catch. So you think they'll go?
Yeah, it's finished. Like, I think it all went down when they got Carlo Ancelotti because they were doing great. And that. And then after that, they got, you can't, from a manager like Carlo Ancelotti to like...
You're never going to get better.
It's just never going to happen. Correct me if I'm wrong, they got Benitez as well after Ancelotti.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had,
and then that was like, he tried, didn't really go well. And then now it's just like, they can't keep escaping. They're going to get relegated. I'm so confident.
Yeah?
Like, I bet my house.
And you think if they go down, could you see them bouncing back up straight away? Or you think that it could be like another... I don't know, like a Portsmouth situation.
I'm thinking low-key, no, not like going to the administration like Rangers 2012. But it could be a thing where they had to go down, then back up. I don't think I think it's going to.
That could be huge because Everton, like, look, as much as I like to poke fun of, they are one of the biggest sides in English football.
Yeah.
So
by
like,
country mile. And that's why it'll be so catastrophic because it's Everton.
Yeah, with the new imagine they're playing in the Championship with that new state.
Bro,
it'd be mental.
It would be insane. But yeah,
it looks like a big Tesco, low-key. Story for another day.
Tesco, that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
I was trying to figure. I thought it looked like something.
Yeah,
it's Tesco. It's Tesco.
Nah, I will feel bad. They're like an annoying little brother. Like if something were to happen to them. Davina, who do you think? You use Everton as well? Or you Forest or Luton?
I really don't want it to be Luton, but I think it will be Luton just because of their, again, massively inconsistent form.
Yeah.
And their ability to always be almost there.
Yeah.
They'll have some great games, maybe be able to snatch a point or even a win, and they'll capitulate in the last 10 minutes. And they just drop mad points. It's just like the worst luck I've ever seen for a team that I actually enjoy their presence in the Premier League has been Luton.
Yeah.
They're such a nice club. Like, I wouldn't mind them still staying up.
Yeah.
They play enjoyable football and every single player plays like they're playing for something, which I think is very rare to see a whole group of players know how much it means to represent a team and how much it would mean for the club to stay in the Premier League. Like that's what I see when I see Luton play football.
Yeah.
So it's their like, I'm going to die on this hill kind of style of play that I see from Tottenham, that they won't like change up their style of play. They'll be like, we're going to play like this.
Yeah.
And we'll lose. But this is Luton. And it'll be really sad to see them go down, but I think they will.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think, I agree. I think unless Everton and Forest get hit with another
Point
ban or something,
deduction.
I think it's going to be super close. I think it's going to go down to the last day. Yeah. And Luton, so I think Forest play Everton and Everton play Luton. So Everton play the other two teams in the relegation battle in the run-in.
The 6 pointers.
So those are, it's the cliche, but those are genuine 6 pointers.
Yeah.
I agree. I think they just don't have that killer edge in them, like to finish it off. And I have come with a message. So Kishore said that if Luton go down, it's because of Spurs.
So Kishore is Ishaan's family friend, and we both went to Luton to watch our respective teams play.
He's a season ticket holder.
Season ticket holder there. And it was very nice going to Kenilworth. And he said it's because of Tottenham.
Yeah, because Luton were 1-0 up and then Spurs came back. So he's blaming it on you. And you refused to meet him for a drink, apparently. So.
Oh, listen, I had an event. I'm so sorry. I had an event. I'm so sorry.
No, he's joking. But he just wanted to have that aired out on the pod.
Yeah. Oh, well, speaking of relegation, at the beginning of the season, we spoke about worst teams to ever play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And one of the teams we spoke about was Derby.
Yes.
Yeah, 2007, 2008, Derby.
Yeah.
And they finished the season with 11 points, lol, and faced 526 shots by the end of game week 32. Now, I sent you this tweet.
Yeah.
And Ishaan's words were exactly, now that is a stat. We've not spoken about this team today, but Manchester United have faced more shots, 574 shots this season by the end of game week 32.
Than Derby did back then.
Derby, the team which collected 11 points in the whole season, by the end of game week 32, Manchester United have faced more.
This is why I said they're the luckiest team in the league. Like the fact that
I agree.
The fact that there's still 7.
Number one Man United hater.
Yeah.
Insert Brendan tweet.
There's no bigger hater for Man United than me. I am the greatest Man United hater of all time.
Yeah.
And I will always, at any opportunity, even if I'm sleeping, I'll wake up.
Respect.
Just to hate.
Respect.
Just to hate.
I don't understand how they flopped through this. Like, they've somehow like finessed themselves to a FA Cup semi-final. I genuinely think Chelsea are a better team than them, and they're somehow above them. Some are like still like in 7th place. I don't get it. Like, that is crazy. Like, how have they not conceded more goals as a result and like are lower down on the table? It's ridiculous.
It's as you said, it's just luck.
Yeah, Onana. It's not even like they've got someone that their defensive line is Onana, Harry Maguire, and Kambawala right now. Like, how is that? How are there not more holes getting poked through that?
Serious institution, yet they're still 7th and they're still in the FA Cup semi-final.
They are the definition of a banter team. Like, honestly, like I feel like with all the other big 6 teams, you can see some kind of part. You know, Chelsea have a group of young players. Cole Palmer's there. Like, Poch knows how to work with young players. I don't know whether we'll talk later whether you're Poch in or out. City, Arsenal, Liverpool, obviously in a title race. Spurs have got some kind of identity under Ange. But you've just got United there. Like, what is there for a United fan to get excited about, bar like Kobe Mainu?
I was just going to say that's the thing I would be excited
like one
about.
player is the only thing that they can latch onto, literally.
Yeah, man. What a dead life, man.
Yeah.
What dead life.
And my team is 9th. We're not 10th anymore, we're 9th now.
Yeah. Getting up there.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, not 10th anymore. No one did more 12th or 11th.
You're real climbing. Yeah. Because you got what? You won back to you've won, you're unbeaten. You won 2 out of the last 3 now, isn't it? Because you drew against.
The first time since 2021.
Whew.
Wild.
Can you imagine?
Speaking of Chelsea, we've got. Well, actually, I wanted to ask your thoughts on this. So before we move on to the star of the show, Cole Palmer, what do you think of the penalty incident? Them boys battling over the ball.
We're just not serious. Like, I wasn't even at the game. I was busy doing something. I completely forgot what I was doing, to be honest. But I saw it and I was just like, guys. In fact, I saw it first and I was like, oh, we're just a little bit of bickering. And then I saw another clip and I was like, that's worse than I expected. From what I'm aware of, until the interview Cole Palmer had, we didn't actually have a designated penalty taker.
Seriously?
So if I'm correct, Palmer came out in the interview and said, oh, actually, Poch has given me that privilege now. But he's given me that privilege now.
Yeah.
Weren't you always the guy to be taking the penalties? But apparently, there was no that was not the case.
So it was just like any man could just take the ball and be like,
take it. But because Palmer was the good one, and has not missed the penalty.
Yeah,
he just kept going with it. That's the thing. That's not serious. That's for me. That's one of the big reasons for why we aren't where we should be. There is no way. Bear in mind, I think we were 4-0 up.
Yeah,
we should be arguing.
Yeah,
like proper bickering over that. So, yeah. As my thoughts are, we're a joke, but that's life.
He's come out now. He said that Palmer should be the taker, and if he ever sees it again, heads are gonna roll. But yeah, like you said, like why has there not been a kind of decision made
from the get-go?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's always been a problem with Chelsea, especially this. It's just lack of leadership.
Yeah,
because it's like so few senior players in the actual team, and then Pochettino just doesn't seem to have got a handle on things.
Even if you saw his post-match interview, he left it.
Oh, the one you saw on Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
That was good, yeah. And then someone cussed him out for it.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, all you're doing is talking about the penalty incident," and he left.
Yeah.
Are you Poch in or out?
Are you Poch in or Poch out?
You like Poch, don't you?
No, I don't. I absolutely hate Poch.
You love Poch.
Hate it with my whole
You love
life.
Poch.
No.
You love Poch. Honestly, I would like to say I'm Poch out. But
Okay.
I don't mind Poch, man. Like, if that's what we can get now, just have it. Who else is going to come in? Let's be real. Like, a lot of people like to say, because, you know, with Chelsea, we've been very good on, like, what's very reactionary.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, we're going through a rough spell, we sack the manager, we go through a new one. That's how it's always worked. Like, from as far as I remember, since Mourinho left his first tenure. Anyways, so because that's how we're like, they're still trying to do that little thing here and there, but it's gone to the point now we're in a new leadership, new ownership.
Yeah, who don't operate in the same way.
Don't operate in the same way that Roman Abramovich did. So it's like, what do you do now? Obviously, Potter didn't really work, and I'm very happy that Potter did not work because I did not like him. No offense to Potter.
Yeah.
Just did not like him. So we have Poch now, and it's his first season.
Yeah.
It's his first full season, right? Been in the final, in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
Albeit, that was not his fault that we lost. It was the player's fault. They were bad.
You should have put it away.
Like, whatever. We won't get into it.
Yeah.
We were bad, yeah?
Yeah.
We're in the FA Cup semi-final, yeah?
Yeah.
You can say, oh, you shouldn't have been there. We played bad because you played awful against Leicester. But guess what? We're there. So, and now what? We're ninth in the league. We could finish sixth.
You're 2 games in hand and 3 points off 6th place.
Well, what?
So
that again?
Newcastle on 32 games played and 50 points. You're in 31 games played and 47 points. You've got a game in hand and you'll be level on points with 6th place.
Huh. Really?
Yeah.
You hear that? You hear
It
that?
doesn't bother me.
And that will also potentially be a European place as well.
So we can be sixth.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you see, okay, cool. Listen, Carabao Cup final that we should have won. That's not his fault.
Yeah.
FA Cup semi-final, right? Against Man City. We'll see what happens. We could finish sixth this year.
Yeah.
Okay, I would take that. Bear in mind, I want him out because I just don't think in the long run it's going to work.
Yeah.
But who else is here?
Yeah.
Who else are we going to get? And it's just going to be like, we're going to get another manager who doesn't really fit in the thing. And what will happen is that we'll buy it, we'll get him, and we'll play well for like 4 games. Everyone on Twitter will be like, oh my God, we're so good. We should have always got him. Then we start to lose 1 game, then it becomes another cycle. So to be honest, when it comes to managers now, I just see it out. Until I can say to myself, yeah, there is absolutely nothing better that we can get from this guy.
Yeah.
Then
So as long as you see some kind of good sign, that you're seeing the cup finals, you're seeing like decent,
Do you
yeah,
know what I mean? And we're in the squad as well. Like, so for me, I just feel that I hate to be the one to say it, but it's gonna take us maybe 2 years to get back to the level that we really want to be at. It's just the reality of it. Again, you know, people can say, "Oh, Chelsea used to be such winners. You used to win trophies all the time." Yeah, but that was then.
Yeah.
We are going to do it again. But we have to go through this transitional period. That's it. You don't like Poch, huh? You do like Poch. You didn't read that. I know you like Poch.
It's so funny.
I can see the anger just boiling up inside.
I know it hurts.
So I'm sat here saying I hate Poch in an Argentina shirt.
Yeah, that's great.
We could talk. Get on to some positive news for Wembley. For Chelsea. So we got Cole Palmer, who is now the joint Premier League top goal scorer with 20 goals, 29 goals and assists in 27 Premier League games. His first season and essentially is his debut season.
Yeah.
In the big time. Does Cole Palmer start for England at the Euros?
Nope.
No.
Also, can we have?
I love Palmer, but he's replaced. I would like people to tell me who he replaces, and when they tell me that, why? This is the thing, because he should be in the squad, no doubt. And if whoever is in front of him plays even the slightest bit bad, bench him for him.
Yeah.
And start Palmer the next game. But if you're going to tell me who I go into the Euros with, I wouldn't start him just yet. And not because he hasn't proven it,
Yeah.
No, he's proven himself to be a starting 11 player for England.
Yeah.
Of course. But who's he going to replace? That's the question that I'm asking myself. I'm not deluded like that. Oh, I tried to not to be deluded. He's
Yeah.
my player and I'll back him wherever. But
Yeah.
it's like someone said, he doesn't even start for City.
Yeah.
I agree with that as well. Obviously, City is City, but do you see what I mean? I'm not trying to be that reactionary. Palmer is, well, squad, then starting 11. That's all.
But if you're so
Bench.
his direct competition, right, is Bukayo Saka. Let's be honest, because you're not going to see Palmer playing off the left, and Bellingham's nailed down that number 10 spot. He's not getting moved from there. If you're going stat for stat, so Saka is 14 goals and 8 assists, and he's starts as frequently. He's the main man for Arsenal. So Palmer's got more goals and more assists in a worse team. So that's I also agree. I don't think Palmer should be starting. 100% he should go in the squad. He's probably the best backup right winger you could have to Saka. He's got the penalties. That's crucial. The amount of knockout games that go to a penalty shootout.
I agree.
But devil's advocate, if he's playing in a worse team, more goals, more assists, younger, like he's got less of a system around him. Like the Chelsea system is quite dysfunctional. So why not? Like why Saka over Palmer or Bellingham for that matter? But let's go with Saka for now because that's the direct competition.
Oh, for what I've seen with Saka of England, is that Saka of England works. Yeah, he's had a couple of, like to say, shoddy games. He's been a bit bad recently.
Yeah.
Especially for England, he's been a bit dry. But he is still the strongest player in that position for England currently.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yes, recent performance is very important. Saka hasn't been awful. Saka just has not been to the Saka that we know.
Yeah.
Do you understand? This
Yeah.
is Saka at his bad form.
Yeah.
But Saka in his great form is probably even better than Cole Palmer. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Especially for England. Yes, you can say Palmer without, what do you call it? Palmer's in the worst team, but he has more goals, more assists, or so on and so forth than Saka. But whilst I do believe stats are important, stats are not everything.
Yeah.
I've gone to Chelsea games. I've seen Palmer. He is very good. He's amazing. Saka's good as well, but I just think for England,
Yeah.
we're talking about a different team now, not the individual.
Yeah.
For England, Saka works now.
Fine.
Until Saka stops working like he should do,
Yeah.
bin him. Put Palmer on.
Yeah.
Then you're done.
But no, I respect that,
Yeah, no, I completely agree. That's why I was like, yep, saying my points. In the sense that Palmer has to be in the squad, but he does not dispatch Saka from the current position. Also, just international competition experience. The Euros, people think it's going to be like a walk in the park. People are saying, oh, England are favourites. We've seen what happens when England go into a tie/competition as like one of the top teams to come out and win it. It's never the case. An international competition of that magnitude on that stage is very difficult. And he has to be there, Palmer, in the squad. But until Saka drops like 2-3 games where he's had absolute stinkers and contributes nothing, because Saka's gameplay beyond his goal contributions is very good.
Yeah.
Like the key role that he plays in Arsenal's team,
Yeah.
if you watch the full 90 minutes, he's way more than just a goal outlet. And that's what he is for England as well. He can go a game without having a goal contribution, but still be instrumental to how England have played in that game.
Yeah.
And unless he has a run of games or he shows that, cool, this is not working,
Yeah.
then we put Palmer in. And he's a good option to have in a squad in that competition, but he can't be a starter.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I agree. I would agree with both of you there. I was hoping to get some kind of bait.
Oh my gosh, he has
but
to start.
Nah, we've got a very rational, level-headed Chelsea fan here. Moving on to, speaking of Cole Palmer, obviously the conversation now coming up, because I think this is around the time players will start voting now for Young Player of the Year and Player of the Year. Who is your Young Player of the Year? No, I'm not hinting towards anyone.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Cole Palmer.
Okay.
Definitely
Fine.
Cole Palmer. I have nothing else. Maybe Garnacho, but I don't even know why I even say Garnacho. No offense to him.
Can I turn the argument on its head though? You'd pick Saka ahead of Palmer for England. Saka's still eligible for Young Player of the Year.
How old is Saka?
22.
Is he 22?
22, yeah.
But this is the breakout young player season for Palmer.
Yeah.
So, and I said that I would play Saka ahead of Palmer because Saka currently suits England's system better than Palmer.
Fine.
Not because he's better.
Yeah.
That's another story.
Yeah.
That's another conversation. But I still go for Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go for Cole Palmer because, again, it's his breakout season. Like you said, basically his debut season.
Yeah.
Without him, Chelsea would be nothing.
Yeah.
And I think it's harsh just because Saka's had a good season. And we agree, he's very instrumental to Arsenal. But when you think about young player who's contributed the most to their team, made the most difference to their team, you're the first player that you would think of is Cole Palmer.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree. I think obviously if you base it just on players, Saka has a high conversation, but I think young player of the year should always be on like a breakout season as well. They should almost redo the category. I think you can't have played more than 1 or 2 seasons and still be eligible.
I agree.
It doesn't make sense. But I'd go. He's probably a banker. So I think we've got Palmer full house. Where it might get a bit more interesting is player of the year.
Go first. I'd like to hear yours.
Can't think of any.
So my player of the year is going to be Rodri.
Okay.
Because I think the player of the year should always kind of go towards the team that is going to win the league, unless you have like a ridiculous season like Salah had on his debut season for Liverpool, or Van Dijk had when he was just one of the best defenders in the world. I think Rodri, he's not lost a game for club or country in a year. And I was looking at it, he's actually he chips in a decent amount on the other side as well. 7 goals and 7 assists. And I feel like City are only vulnerable or lose when he's not playing.
He's not there, yeah.
So I think for all of those reasons, I think he'd be my player of the year.
Shock. The 2 people who have the same FPL name also have the same player of the year. Why we co-host the same podcast and have the exact same opinions? Like, honestly, we have the same opinions for every single thing. It's like, that's why we need to have guests. And yeah, exactly that. He's just so instrumental to Manchester City. And he rested. He didn't play on Saturday against Luton. I think he was asked to rest.
He did not play. You're right.
Yeah. So after the very congested run of fixtures they had, he asked for a rest and didn't play in that game. He doesn't have that option anymore, so he will definitely play in the run-in. But he is such an instrumental player for City. If he's fit, he's playing the full 90. And like you said, defensively, goal threat-wise, he is the player that Manchester City need to basically win every single game they've got until the end of the season. He's got credit in the bank from last season, and he's still not... when players have a very good season, they have such a strong influence, and then the season after, sometimes they don't match up to the same standard. I haven't even seen that.
Yeah.
Like, he's just as good as the Rodri hype was last year.
Yeah.
And that's why I think he's my player of the year.
Brendan?
Curveball.
Okay.
Curveball. Oh my God, I'm actually stuck. So, Rodri... Yeah, Rodri is Rodri. Without him, I believe City are not trash, but City just aren't the powerful City that we know.
Yeah.
So that's that, but I'll put him to one side. Harden has not been the best of the season, but he's still got 30 plus goals. So that's that. He has not been the best. I want to say Ollie Watkins.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I want to say Ollie Watkins because I just think for what he's done with Villa, Villa are a serious team now.
Yeah.
Normally Villa are like a top 10 side. Maybe they might slip into 7th. But he's been amazing this year. He's been instrumental to them being, what, 4th?
Fourth right now.
yeah.
4th. That's mad.
Yeah.
They're 4th. So I would say him. And because no one else is really coming in my mind, like maybe Isak, but I wouldn't say he's been the player of the year.
Yeah.
He's been good.
Yeah,
Do you understand?
breakout stars for their team.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But Ollie Watkins, in my opinion, is my player of the year. And that's that really. I'm not even going to give all this like mutual information about it, but I really just believe for what he's done with Aston Villa and how they're fourth,
Yeah.
and just he's just genuinely so instrumental towards the team. I'll go for him.
19 goals and 10 assists. So he's one off the golden
One
boot.
off the golden boot right now, yeah.
So do you think he has to go to the Euros as well?
Yes, he has to.
Above,
But then again, there's Ivan Toney and there's
because there's only really going to be space for one, maybe two strikers.
so we've got Kane, of course.
Kane is starting 100%.
Yeah.
So who do you?
We've got a lot of options, to be fair.
Because there's the big debate. Because a lot of I saw on Monday Night Football. It depends. Do you go for someone of the same mold as Harry Kane, or do you go for something different? Because let's be honest, no one's going to displace Harry Kane. So do you go for something different that gives a different option off the bench if Harry Kane isn't working in a given game? Tony offers something different, whereas I think Watkins is a little bit more of the similar pure goal scorer as
Right.
Kane in terms of Tony's hold up. So
You're right.
what would be your options? What would you guys think?
Personally, as we said, because the fact that it's going to go to a lot of penalties as well in the Euros, and you've already established that Palmer will be in squad.
Yeah.
I would also lean towards bringing Ivan Toney,
Okay.
but it's hard because it's not a decision that I'm very confident with saying.
Yeah.
Him, it was ironic because I'm saying Watkins is my player of the year,
Yeah.
but then I'm thinking about bringing Ivan Toney, but I'm
Yeah.
only thinking about in terms of how the squad will work.
Yeah.
But I would probably be more inclined to bring Ivan Toney and hope there will be space for Watkins as well as the first striker, but that's not going to happen really. So I bring Toney.
Are we forgetting Dominic Solanke?
Nah, man. No.
I'm not having it.
I'm sorry.
Not at all.
No.
Nah, not over those.
No.
Potentially over Tony.
That's what I was like for me
Potentially.
when I was thinking. I get Tony's up for a shout at the Euros, but he's not. Well, I would say it's not his fault. It is his fault that he's only had half a season. But I think it's harsh on Dominic Solanke for him not to even be in the conversation.
It's life.
He's had a great
Nah.
season, and I think also if Dominic Solanke puts up those numbers, if Ishaan will kindly pull up his stats for me, please.
Solanke stats, yes.
I think someone made a comment after the United
17
game.
goals and 3 assists.
Yeah, 17 goals, 3 assists. If he put up those numbers in any other team, people will be like, yeah, definitely in consideration for the Euros. And it's harsh that he's at a team like Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And for example, if he was at Tottenham and he put 17 goals up,
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we giving Tony too much credit then? Because
Maybe, I think I'm biased towards Tony. I'll be real.
what's the bias?
I don't know, but I think
You like gambling?
I've never gambled in my life. I'm way too much bad luck in my life. But maybe I might think about my decision because Tony is great, but I'm only thinking about Tony in terms of being different.
Yeah.
And providing something different.
Yeah.
I don't believe he's better than Watkins, and I believe that at this stage, someone like Watkins should go.
Yeah.
I actually think in general, you are right, where I feel like we've given Tony a bit too much credit.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the word overrate him, but I feel like, if we're to be fair,
Yeah.
right, with Solanke and everything, what he's done with Watkins, why should Tony be number 2?
Exactly.
You see what I mean? So
Yeah, the reason I'm going with the whole two because I'm looking at the squad from the last Euros, and he only went with 2 strikers. He went with Calvert-Lewin, Kane, and then Rashford. But Rashford obviously can play up front, but he's mainly off the left. So it's a tough one. It's one. Maybe we'll see with the run in as well. But you can't look past the Watkins numbers, can you? In terms of
you can't, especially for what he's done as well and how he plays. That's what I think.
in order to round off, I think all of us have prepared a hot take.
Yeah.
In terms of either just generally or this season. So Davina, did you want to?
Yeah, mine's it's a bit of a hot take, but I just, again, anything I say on Twitter, I get cooked for. But I've got, obviously, Tottenham could get 4th, but I just don't think, based on our performances this season, are still getting comfortable with Ange Postecoglou's tactics. I genuinely do not want to go to the Champions League and get slapped like how we did at Newcastle.
Oh, you're scared now.
So when I'm genuinely scared, like I think that the level that Tottenham are at right now is not Champions League standard. And people are saying, oh, we could get fourth. And up until we lost against Newcastle, there was a genuine possibility that we could have got fourth.
Yeah. There still
is.
Yeah.
But it's hard to see that coming into fruition, us finishing fourth. And people have said, oh, you massively lack ambition if you don't want to go to the Champions League. I think Ange Postecoglou said it perfectly. I don't know if it's a hot take, but it's me agreeing with Ange in the sense that he doesn't want a team that goes into fourth, aims for fourth with the sole aim of finishing Champions League. Because he made a brilliant point of the fact that, for example, Newcastle and Manchester United had Champions League last year.
Yeah.
Did that put them in a better position this year? As a team, as a unit, and the way that they play football, it did not help them.
Yeah.
I rather not play Champions League, have the massive morale decompress that it will give us when we ultimately do not make it out of the group.
Yeah.
Because I think with the current players that we have, the current style of play, and sometimes the inconsistency that we have, I don't want to go to the Champions League and get slapped up. Like, I'm terrified. I rather comfortably play in the Europa League if that's our level.
That's real.
But then what's like, if you're not going to aspire to the Champions
No.
League?
I just don't think we're ready for the Champions League right now.
What I want to add on, right, is that here's the thing. People need to understand that Champions League is a great experience, right? All our teams have been in Champions League. We've seen it, right? Both our teams have won the Champions League. Apologies about that, right? Anyways.
You got close. You got
Sorry,
close.
Not the... Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
Anyways, there's no point going to the Champions League just to get smoked. It doesn't do anything. You can say, oh, we got to the Champions League. Yeah, to embarrass yourself. So I get your point, actually. It's a good point. If your team, like, you into the Champions League to win it.
Yeah.
A lot of people just do this whole thing where they get top four and they do it for vibes. What's the point of doing it for vibes if you're not going to win it? If you don't have
But I don't think you're a team that would get. I don't think Spurs are a team that are guaranteed to get smoked. Like Newcastle, even Newcastle. You use Newcastle as an example. Newcastle could have gone through on the last match day to the knockouts.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is I would rather go on a run and actually go further in a competition than go into a Champions League, which I think currently is a little bit out of our depth. After you get, we get out of the group stage. As soon as you get to, there's more teams now, so I think there's an extra round.
Yeah.
As soon as you leave the group stage, you will be faced with a high caliber team. And I think it's very nice to play those high caliber teams, but I rather have a sustained run of games where we can develop our style of play, learn how to play as a unit under a new style of football and do well, rather than get absolutely battered, which I don't think is a guarantee. But the way that we've played football this year, especially since January, we've not been good.
Yeah.
We've got very lucky results. And as a Spurs fan, I'm self-aware. We've scraped past a lot of teams. One example, we played Luton. We went 1-0 down in the first 3 minutes. And I looked around to the people I sit with in the South Stand, our season ticket holders, were like, how are we playing like this against a newly promoted team who are fighting relegation? It was, again, we came back against Forest. We've come back so many times. It's been Tottenham fighting back. And where are the goals coming from? They're coming from random, against Forest, we had a goal from Van de Ven and we had a goal from Porro. Right now, as the style of play that we have, we're not ready for Champions League football. So people seeing fourth as aspiration should not be the aspiration. It should be to get better as a team. So when you're faced with higher quality teams, you're more confident rather than we play this high line, we're going to get absolutely smashed.
My question to you is, what will make you the better team? Because I feel like this is the endless cycle of talking, where you should be in the Champions League, but then during the season, you're not really good enough. Then you qualify for the Champions League somehow, and then you get smoked.
Yeah.
What is it with you guys that you are missing that will take you from the, obviously winning trophy, I get that, but what are you missing that will get you to that stage where you can actually be a contender in the Champions League, just like 2019?
Yeah.
What is it that you're missing?
First,
and to add to that, surely if you qualify with the squad, you attract more players to make yourself, in this summer period, to make yourselves...
That won't happen. No one's going to come Tottenham, bro.
Whoa.
No offense.
But they're less likely to come even if you don't get it.
I think, again, so this is where I'm coming from. The players signing every single year will have gaps in our squad and we'll recruit players in other aspects, but we don't fill every single spot. So like last season, definitely wanted some new centre backs. We signed Van de Ven. We kind of have now got a solid defence. It's still very leaky. Like we concede a stupid amount. I can't remember the last time we got a clean sheet. Like I think that was Fulham away. I know Villa away. We beat them 4-0. But it's very tricky at times. I think for us to make us a more like vengeful team, we need a number 6. Sort that midfield mess out.
Yeah.
Because whatever we have right now is not working. I'm completely lost when I watch us play and I'm like, where's our midfield? One's here. There's no cohesiveness. And we need a striker that stays fit.
Yeah.
Richarlison, great, but he's literally like every other month he's injured. So we need someone. We need to fix those 2 positions. And until we recruit effectively to fill the gaps that we have, I think back to when you guys needed a goalkeeper, you needed a centre-back, you went out and bought expensive goalkeeper and expensive centre-back.
Yeah.
And that did you wonders. Tottenham need to have that mentality. We are not a broke club by any means. We have Harry Kane money that I don't think we've spent.
Yeah.
And it's until we start recruiting like a club whose ambitions match Champions League football, we won't be ready for Champions League football.
That's a good point. I can't hear
Respect.
that.
Yeah. I can't. Yeah. I'm not gonna argue against.
It's not really a hot. It was literally just me with my very strong view.
I think it's still fairly hot. For a fan of their club not wanting to be qualified for the Champions League. Like that is
it's saying that again, self-aware Tottenham fan, we are not ready for Champions League football.
You just admitting.
Yeah.
Brendan, what have you got for us?
This has always been one that gets me a lot of crap from Arsenal fans.
Go on.
Family and everything. Even James hates me for it.
Go on.
And this is not to do with the season, I solemnly believe that Olivier Giroud was a great player for Arsenal. And to see your faces like that, and you'll give me that. Olivier Giroud was not a bad player for Arsenal at all. The reason why I say this, right? I used to watch Arsenal a lot because of my family, because of my friends. Giroud was not bad at all. The worst thing about Giroud was that he's an inconsistent goal scorer. And Arsenal Arsenal fans and Arsenal themselves wanted Giroud to be a consistent goal scorer. That's all they wanted him to be, but he wasn't that guy.
Yeah.
Giroud had great hold-up play. He was amazing at assists. He helped the forward attack so well in general. But he wasn't a consistent goal scorer. What he would do, he will score 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Then he will blank for 3 games. Then he'll score 1 game. In 1 game, then he'll blank for 2 games and probably repeat that cycle and then maybe have like 5-game goal drought and then score like a hat-trick. That was Giroud's Premier League
Legacy
for Arsenal.
Yeah.
He's had that out, right? But when I think about it, without Giroud and his contributions, Arsenal don't have 2 FA Cups. All they won were FA Cups.
Yeah.
And people say to me, but the 15-16 season, he missed so many goals. He missed so many opportunities. And they say this, because he missed opportunities, so many goals, that's why they lost the league.
Yeah.
That's just not true. That's factually incorrect. I watched that Arsenal more than anything. Why? Because Chelsea were even dead. They were 10th that season. So I was not caring about Chelsea. And that sounds a bit bad, but I was 18 then, so whatever. Anyways, he was not that bad. In that season where he stopped, where he blanked, right? He was top goal scorer until January. Then he got hooked off against Chelsea. I remember he got Saka got a red card. So Giroud was hooked off. After that, he then stopped scoring until April against Man City, right?
Yeah.
If I'm correct. There was a Leicester game that they won. No one Welbeck scored in the last minute. Giroud assisted that game. He didn't score, but he assisted.
Yeah.
During the goal drought, Giroud started I think 6 or 7 games, right? He played no more than 21 minutes for 7 of those games he did not start, right? He was just thrown on to do something, right?
Yeah.
The whole squad was dead in general. It was bad. Giroud, if I recall correctly, missed like maybe 3 chances.
Yeah.
If he converted all those chances he got during that goal drought,
Yeah.
they still would have lost the league.
Yeah.
They still would have lost the league. And I've been debating about this for time because I said to Arsenal fans, right, when Giroud left Arsenal, a lot of Arsenal fans were upset and sad. They were depressed because they were like, "Oh, I love Giroud. He was about Arsenal." And then they all they flipped the switch when he said, "Thank you, Arsenal."
Yeah.
Then it started being like, Giroud was always crap. He was da 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 da. I just tell Arsenal fans, stop being deluded. In my opinion, I believe he's better. He's better than Jesus. He's better than Lacazette. He's not better than Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Long story short, he's been their best striker or their best forward since Van Persie and bar Aubameyang. That's what I solemnly believe. And a lot of fans, James has been getting on to me. I just tell people, it's an agenda. It's a pure agenda. I try to not have agendas. And I know when I have agendas. Because when I have agendas, I know that in my mind I'm like, I'm low-key talking a bit of crap, or I just did this because I hate this player. So
You genuinely believe this one?
I genuinely believe it with my heart.
Do you think he was ever world class?
No.
No. So you're saying he was a very good player and he was overhated.
That's it. All I say is that
Overhated,
I just say he's overhated. I don't believe he's amazing. I don't believe he's fantastic. I believe because you can't be a fantastic striker if you're an inconsistent goal scorer.
Yeah.
But the guy got 105 goals in 253 games.
Yeah.
That's a good record. And then when I say that, Arsenal fans will tell me, "Oh, but he had Ozil." But then when he doesn't score, he's bad.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean by the agenda? You don't appreciate him for when he scores goals.
Yeah.
When he doesn't score goals, you hate on him anyway.
But do you think the frustration would have come that he followed off the back of Van Persie, who was in a different stratosphere as a striker?
No matter what.
And because anyone of Van Persie's level who had Ozil behind them would have done like double the job.
Yeah, I agree. I'm always open and honest with it, right?
Yeah.
Where you have Van Persie, a mad striker, and he turns to Giroud, a guy who's good, won Montpellier their league, the Liga, and now you're back in the Premier League and so on and so forth. So you're not up to that standard of a goal scorer like Van Persie, and pretty much you're like 2 levels behind that even.
Yeah.
Right? Arsenal should have just hired a goal scorer.
Yeah.
That was the issue. But they tried to get guys like Perez, Yayo Snogo. They got so many strikers. Only Giroud remained.
Yeah.
They got a lot of missed strikers, and Giroud was the only one who was good. Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So the thing is, I get Arsenal fans' frustration and so on and so forth, but I just believe the guy's overhated. And I don't really believe he was the sole reason for why they bought the league. Yes, he had bad games, a whole Monaco game in the Champions League. Yes. But then they ignore the fact that he scored in the second leg. And nobody told Arsenal to concede 3 goals at home to Monaco.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean by a player?
That's not a player's fault for not scoring.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Of course. But you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, I respect that. Like, you can't ask the guy to be someone he's not. Like,
That's it.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah. As long as you caveated your argument with the fact that you said he was never world class, then fair enough. You're not trying to make him out something he's not.
No.
Yeah.
Good player, good servant. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't take someone try to say he's the worst striker he's ever seen. Okay, bro.
Nah.
All right, cool.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I don't have any, like, when I think of Giroud at Arsenal, I don't think he's, like, that overhating came from Arsenal fans, because as a outsider from the Arsenal fan base, I never think of him and think, like, he was absolutely shit for Arsenal. I don't ever think that.
Yeah.
But I think his legacy at Arsenal was tainted from his time at Chelsea.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
You go.
Mine is that Robbie Edwards should win Manager of the Year even if Luton get relegated.
Even if they get relegated.
Yeah. Hear me out.
Hear
When
me
this-
out. Asking, like, no. That's crazy.
No. Do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what? That is crazy. That is crazy. I'm not really on your side, but I understand why.
You're hearing him out.
Yeah,
I'm not
like-
hearing you out.
Let me lay my case.
Let him land.
Yeah, we'll let
him
you
land.
land. Fine.
I'd say probably in Premier League history, at least since I've been a fan, I've never seen a worse side on paper than this Luton team that's come up.
Fine.
They do not have one, like, bar Ross Barkley, who let's be honest, we all thought he was dead. Like bar him, like, there was not one, like, household name you could even latch onto me. Like, oh, they would, pump the ball up to him, get behind him. So that was them coming up. They then only spent £20 million. That is what most clubs spend on, on one player. Like at least the other 19 teams in the league.
Yeah.
They've got they had to bloody get their stadium renovated to get it ready, and they couldn't even get it ready for match day 1.
Yeah.
Let alone, we all had them. We thought earlier in the podcast we talked about them arguably being one of the worst team in Premier League history. The fact that we're still talking about Luton as a potential as staying up in the league is ridiculous. And I know this because we talked about my family friend Kishore. They've been absolutely ravaged by injuries in the last few weeks. Like they've got like the guy who scored the own goal against City. I think it was like his first or second game. Like a lot of the top Premier League clubs get a lot of the focus, like when Liverpool going through injury crisis or Chelsea or United. But people don't focus on these lower clubs. And Luton didn't have a star-studded squad to start with. So the fact that they're even in contention, for me, warrants Manager of the Year.
Do you know what? You make a compelling argument. It's still a crazy point, and I'm still going to go with Davina saying that's crazy. But I believed when I saw that squad, right, coming into the season, that would be worse than Derby.
Yeah.
And the fact that they are, 3 times better than what Derby were.
Yeah.
Because of points and everything, right? They've actually come in and they've played their football.
Yeah.
They have tried to make a statement to say, okay, guys, we are the worst team on paper, but we are not going to go down like that.
Yeah.
If it was a thing where they came in, they were sitting in 20th, they were just there, maybe they might have had one fluke win, cool. They've genuinely, they're 17th, 18th now?
Yeah, 18th, yeah.
18th, right? And
2 points off 16.
And the 2 points of relegation, sorry.
Yeah.
Of 16th even.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's like, they are clearly here to make a statement. And, I would say that Luton's manager has contention to be the manager of the season. But the thing is that if they get relegated, obviously it kind of diminishes it, because how can you be manager of the season or manager of the year if you get relegated? But that all depends on how. Yeah. If they just start losing all the games now, there's absolutely no way you can even think about making that argument. But if they go down to the absolute wire, they give them their everything and they lose out by 1 point or by a goal difference.
Yeah.
Whilst it contradicts itself to say he should be manager of the year, I wouldn't say you're an idiot for believing that he should be, because again, with that squad and for all the circumstances and everything they've gone through and everything they've done as a club, for the manager to be doing that, it's a good point.
And I think you touched on it as well. The other thing I would say is they've not come into the league parked like 10 men behind the bus either.
Yeah.
They've given it a go every season. And it's come with results. They drew against us, and that was Luis Diaz, like a last minute equaliser to get through it.
Yeah.
They went up against Spurs at Spurs' stadium. I think they went up against City.
They came back against Chelsea.
Like they've given a fight even against to the top clubs. And the two teams that they're up against literally have financial fair play cases both against them. You can only have financial fair play cases against you if you've been spending ridiculous amounts of money and breaking the rules. Something that Luton you cannot accuse them of. So look what they're competing against as well. What's your beef?
It's not even that I have beef with Luton. They're a cute club. I love them. It's genuinely the fact that you're saying if they get relegated, that's literally it. If your hot take was he should win it,
now ready to stick by it whether they go
down. It's
as far as
I just think it's
So
I have 2 points. Firstly, a manager who gets relegated, I appreciate the nice little fairy tale that Luton have, and the fact that they play good football, what they're up against, all valid points. But coming up to the Premier League and going straight down, I don't think can warrant you manager of the year if you also look at the rest of the league. Emery has a shout.
Yeah.
For me, if I was going to go out of pocket and not go Pep as manager of the year,
which I don't think a Pep should ever win manager.
That's just give the manager of the year to the team who wins the Prem.
Yeah.
That's sometimes it happens like that, but for me, when I look at
the other left field argument is Emery, not left field meaning
the one which is not the obvious choice. For me, when I was thinking of a hot take, I was gonna bring that. We would have had matching hot takes as well. But that was gonna be my hot take in the sense that what he's done with the Villa squad.
But Villa have spent a lot of money.
I agree, but with competing against, I say competing against Tottenham, like I put us as like 8th or 7th, I can't remember now.
Yeah.
But like Manchester United, Newcastle, for Villa to be in 4th
Yeah.
with quite a nice hold on it as we stand, given the next run of fixtures that Tottenham have.
Yeah.
For me, that was going to be even on the back of like the win against Arsenal, they've had consistently good performances and have also got decent good results.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost against us, but then they beat us at our stadium.
Yeah.
They tactically play very nicely,
Yeah.
and you can see that that's Emery's cooking session.
Yeah.
Like that's how he's progressed.
Yeah.
And that's why for me, he would be manager of the year.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from,
Yeah.
but crazy to suggest that a manager who gets relegated wins manager of the year. Like, I appreciate it, and he'd be in for a shout if they stay up.
Yeah, I think just the job he's done. I've never seen something like it.
It's very cool, and he has a lot of fangirls on Twitter.
Yeah, he does. He had to put the wedding.
It's crazy.
This is like aura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the auras. He's mental.
That's such a funny word.
Anyway, that rounds off our episode for today.
Yeah.
Davina, do you want to do your usual?
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you got to this point, as always, you can find us on TikTok, on Instagram, on X, on YouTube, on Spotify. We're still working on Apple Podcasts. They really hate us for some reason. We're working on it. Once we get that sorted, all of our episodes will be on there because we have all the audio files. Thank you so much to our guest. Thank you so much for coming down. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. And yeah, nothing else from me.
Thank you, guys. See you on the next episode.
Bye.